All right, all right. It looks like we are live. We are on time today. So I am pretty excited about that. How are you guys doing over here at the BRI-HIVE? Welcome, welcome in. I know it's early in the stream, but if you are here live, let me know how your day was. And also let me know where you are watching from. For those of you who do not know me, I am Boss Attorney Bri, and here on this channel, we cover trademark lawsuits, celebrity lawsuits, copyright lawsuits, all out of order, but that's okay. And in my day-to-day life, I do family law, trademark law, copyright law, and just whatever kind of, or on this channel, we cover whatever type of cases that we want to cover. So welcome to the live stream. We have a couple of things to talk about today. We have a couple of cases. One of them, the judges are really spicy in them, so I'm very excited to jump into that. But the other one is a new lawsuit against Erika Jane for alleged fraud that her husband did. So why is she being sued? Again, they keep naming her in these complaints. So I haven't had a chance to look at that one. So that one would be completely a live reaction. But I did take a little bit of a glimpse into the Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather. And I always forget who the third person is, but I already took a look into that complaint, or not that complaint. It's actually an order from the court. And the judges are quite spicy in it. I don't know if you guys remember, but probably back in September, we covered the fact that there was a tentative ruling on that case after Kim Kardashian was basically how much was she ordered to pay by the security exchange? I can't remember the exact amount. I think it was like $1,250,000 or something along that lines that she had to pay for her failure to disclose the fact that she was being paid for the promotion of the Ethereum Max coin. If you guys do not remember that case, make sure to go back and check it out. We've covered it pretty much since the start of the case. That case started at the beginning of the year last year, and it is still ongoing. We are not into the discovery phase just yet. And so we're going to be covering an order that was made on the motion to dismiss, and then talk about how much further that case is going to go. And then after that, we're going to jump into the Erika Girardi being sued again in bankruptcy court because of the alleged actions of her husband, and see why they're saying she's liable this time. And there's a couple of other people named into that complaint as well. Like I said, I have not looked into that to see if that one's spicy or not. So that one will be a full live reaction, and we'll jump right into it. So for now, I am going to check out the chat. So if you guys have not put your location, or not your don't put your location, but put where you're watching from and how your day was in the chat, go ahead and do it now. We are going to check it out, and then we're going to jump right into the cases. I can't stream long tonight because I do have to go to the store and get some stuff for my office, but we are going to be pretty thorough into the Kim Kardashian case. And then if you guys want to see the complaint that we are not the complaint, but the order that we don't cover, just let me know and I can share. All right, we have Lovedy01 saying hello, hello, and welcome to the live stream. We have Diamond and Henna saying hello, hello, welcome to the live stream. These are some new names for me. Amber Lowe, good evening. Bree, good evening. Welcome back to the live stream. We have Lovedy01 saying, watching from Dallas. Well, we are happy to have you here live with us today. Hopefully it is a topic of interest to you. We have Tanya D, a member and moderator of the channel, saying, hey, Bree, and hello, chat. Hello, welcome back to the live stream. Love to have you here. We have Diamond and Henna saying, good day was good. Pasadena. Oh, nice, nice. Okay. Yeah, is it raining there? Here, it's still raining. It was like thunderstorming this morning at like 3 a.m. And then it just stopped like all day there. I mean, I didn't really go outside, so maybe it was raining, but I didn't hear, maybe I did hear a little bit. My days get all jumbled in, but it wasn't raining when I left. So that we'll go with that. All right, we have Jennifer Schubert saying, hello, Bree. It's Jennifer from Portland, Oregon. Well, welcome to the live stream. Nice. Portland, Oregon. Is it snowing out there, or is it just cold? Marianne, a member of the channel and also a person that donates memberships, or that has donated memberships to the channel, saying hi, BRI-HIVE, using her emoji that doesn't show up on StreamYard. But if you guys do become a member, You get special emojis, and you also get little badges next to your name. So if you're wondering what people are having next to their name, that is what it is. And actually, it looks like Marianne just gifted 5 more memberships. So thank you so much for that and supporting the channel. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. And we love having you here live with us. So I'm seeing some people got some memberships for Marianne. She's amazing. She's amazing. She supports the channel. Love to see it, and we appreciate it so much. Okay, we have Lynn Davenport saying, coming from Eastern Iowa. Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen Iowa dropped in the chat, but nice to see you there. Saying, hey, Bri and BRI-HIVE. Cool, that's cool that Iowa. I don't know if I've seen anyone else from Iowa, but we're happy to have you here. Cardova says, good evening, Queen Bri and BRI-HIVE. Hello and welcome back. Mr. Howard says, hi, hello, welcome back. Tiny D says, watching from St. Louis. All right. I don't know the weather in St. Louis, so I can't make a comment. And then we have Amber Lowe watching from Charlotte. Okay, cool. And for those of you that don't know or that might be new to my channel, I am not good at geography, even within the United States. I'm trying to picture where some of these places are, but I have no clue. I'm going to have to look at a map before I do these things. Okay, Daz Beats, welcome back to the live stream, saying, hey, everyone. Hello there. Elizabeth Carmichael says, hi, Bri and HIVE. Decent enough day coming from New Jersey. Nice to see you back here in the live stream. All right, we have Daz B saying she had a few like that. I think she involved the FTX too. I may be wrong. I don't know exactly what you're referring to there. Hello Swanky says, hello, Bri. What up, BRI-HIVE? Hope everyone is well. Hello, welcome back to the live stream. Hello, Swanky. Nice to see you again. Krista Harris says, love the hair and nails. Oh, thank you so much. I went to like a little party this weekend, so I got my nails done. Can you guys see that? To match Alpha's jacket, because I just wore a black dress, but his jacket was like black with like these red splatters on them. I'll call it splatters. I don't know. But yeah, they kind of match his jacket, but now I just have the nails. But thank you so much. All right, we have Fat Baby Toodle saying, hey, y'all, hello, welcome back to the live stream. We have Hello Swanky saying, watching from flooded East LA. We're not flooded, surprisingly, here, in which Sacramento is supposed to be like a little flood zone, but maybe I'm not in the area where it's flooded. But so far, I don't think we're flooded yet. Paula Meha says, hi, hello, welcome back to the channel. Tiny D says, hey, Dabs, and hello, Swanky. Yes, hello, Z Seltzer. Nice to have you back here in the live stream. Okay. We lost the chats. All right. Diamond and Henna says, not raining here. It stopped around 12. Okay, that's good. Hopefully the water slows down. Or are we in areas where we need water? California was needing water, but I feel like we have enough now, but I don't know. I'm not the weatherman. I'm not Nature Channel. So how would I know, right? Let's see. Let me not mess this one up. Bora Q Beauty KK says, I rarely get to catch a live. Tuning in from Cincinnati, Ohio. Well, we are happy to have you here live. I hope that you're going to get as many giggles out of this order as I did, just skimming it for you guys. Tiny D says, hello to everyone coming in, dropping us with one of the special emojis out. For whatever reason, StreamYard does not like to show because she's a member of the channel, so she gets cool emojis. Paula Meha says, from the Bay Area where there is rain, thunder, and hail. Yeah, I am not too far from the Bay Area. I'm in Sacramento, and there was definitely thunder. I have not seen hail in a couple of weeks. I did see some a couple weeks ago. But yeah, raining. It stopped throughout the day, but it was definitely raining this morning. Okay, we have Tiny D saying, Marianne, you truly are the best. She is absolutely right. She just gifted us some memberships. For whatever reason, StreamYard also doesn't let me pull those up, the gifted memberships, and then the new members either. So I know we have some new ones. Let me scroll on Studio to see who we have in here. That's a new member. We have, let's see. We have Toots was gifted a membership. Welcome to the membership. We have Little Lady was gifted a membership. Jane Stoder. Okay, we gifted a membership. So it's Cheerful Bacon and Squat Watson. So welcome to the membership, guys. Just in time. I know I said it a couple of times last year, but we're going to have that member stream where we're all going to like come onto the stream and kind of give our opinions. We have to pick a topic. I am aiming for the end of January. I do have a trial at the end of January, but after that, I should be able to do the member stream. Do you guys want to do it on a regular day, like the Tuesday or Thursday, or do you want to have it on like a Friday or Saturday? We can do the member stream and chat. Last time we did like a cool chat. It was super relaxed and fun. And then this time we'll have you guys on the screen with us. So if you are interested in joining that chat, make sure you get your membership before the end of the month. All right, we have Deanna Dong saying, hello from SoCal. Welcome, welcome. Diamond and Henna says, oh, how nice, Marianne. How sweet. Yes, always so sweet. Gifting the memberships. Getting more members in the crew. Love to see it. Vintage Lovin' saying Vintage Lovin' Nerd VLN says, hi, everyone from Canada. Nice to have you here. What is the time difference with Canada? I feel like it's not that far off. Cordova 82 says, watching from Northern Virginia. Nice to have you here again. We have Mav saying, watching with a head cold in Cleveland. Oh, I hope you get better soon. I have avoided the sickness this month, and I hope it keeps going because I have like a bunch of court stuff that I have coming up. So I'm sorry that you are sick, and I hope you get better soon. And this is Howard saying, from Massachusetts, we are the strong arms looking state. Okay. Yeah, so some places I do know where it is. But thank you for the description. Love it. Cardova says to Mav, hope you feel better. Yes, of course. We have Tanya D saying, for everyone coming in, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to support the channel. Yes, of course. Thank you for reminding me. If you guys have not already, go ahead and hit the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm. I am still a pretty small channel right now, and we're trying to grow 2023 and become big. We want to be like the big, cool lawyers on YouTube. Even though I like the small community that we have now, I think we can have more friends, right? Always room for more friends. So thank you, Tanya, for always reminding me to do the YouTube things in order to grow, right? Dia says, hello from Elk Grove. Oh, pretty close. Pretty close. I was in Elk Grove, like, was I in Elk? I know, I think I was still in Sacramento this weekend. But hey, pretty close, pretty close. And thank you for joining us live. We have Cheryl Reed saying, good evening, everyone. Hope you all are having a terrific Tuesday. Yes, of course. Hope everyone is having a great Tuesday. I had a pretty good day today. Started off a bit rough, but it came out to be a pretty good day. So thank you for that. We got Tiny D saying, today has been okay. Hello, Swanky saying, oh, that's good. It's a mess over here. Shaking my head near constant raining / storming. Had to pull my rain boots out for the first time since 2013. Has it just not rained that bad since 2013, or have you just been avoiding it? I was going to wear my little all-weather boots today, but I didn't really go in my outfit and it wasn't really raining enough. So I'm wondering if you have the same issue. Does it go with the fit? Does it go with the fit? We have Chris Mullen from Australia, member of the channel, dropping some emojis, special emojis for us. Nice to have you back here in the live stream. Hello, Swanky says, don't forget to hit the like button. BRI-HIVE, reminding myself. Yes, and I actually have on closed caption today. I remembered for those of you that need it. Diamond and Henna says, the news is scaring everyone. They keep showing a few specific streets or areas in California with just surf, but most of the cities and neighborhoods are just fine. Yeah, or high. I see you corrected it for high surf. Yeah, the area that I'm in, it's like storming at night, and then when we wake up in the morning, it's like the floor is not even really that wet. It's just kind of in the middle. So I haven't seen too much stuff other than, wasn't there like a flood? I think DS said he's in Elk Grove. Wasn't there like a flood in the Elk Grove area on 99 the weekend before last, I think. So hopefully it stays non-flooding for the most part, and hopefully you guys are all staying safe out there. All right. Love D said do it on a weekend. Okay. Chris Mullen says maybe a Saturday. Yeah, we can do it on the weekend. That probably would work better, honestly, than trying to squeeze it into the late afternoon chat or the evening. we're nighttime now, right? Tiny D says a weekend stream would work better for me. Okay, perfect. I think everyone is on the same page with the weekend stream. Cardova says to Mav, tell me about it. Kids, hubby, and I got COVID during the holidays. The bed was full. Yes. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys are doing way, way better. Hope Mav gets better. Sickness is never fun. I hate colds. I hate COVID. I think I've had COVID before, but I just never went to go get the test because the fiance had already tested and said he had it. So I just assumed that I also had it. So let's see here. We got Swat Watson, new member of the channel, saying thanks for whoever gifted me a BRI-HIVE membership. Yes, new member in the house. Okay, drop your emojis. Okay. Diamond and Henna says SoCal is good. Okay. Hella Swanky says it hasn't rained enough to warrant rain boots. It really doesn't rain much here, and when it does, it's not much and infrequent, but now it's like pouring, right? So rain boots come out. Paula says I think is mostly San Francisco, Daly City, San Mateo who are getting flooded, which makes a lot of sense. I am in the East Bay is mostly in crazy wind. Yeah, the wind is outrageous. I did not know that the wind got this bad. I was driving through Sacramento these past couple of weekends, and there's just trees falling down. So, yes, it's a lot of wind. Hopefully, it eases up, though. Okay, we are ready to jump into the case. We're going to start with Kim Kardashian. It's not Kim Kardashian's case. There's a bunch of other people sued as well, but we're just focused on Kim Kardashian because, I don't know, she's probably like one of is she more famous? I would say she's more famous than Floyd Mayweather. I think you have to like be into boxing to know Floyd Mayweather. But on to our good sis, Kim Kardashian. I feel like people know exactly what I'm referring to when I say this case. So let's jump into it. For you guys that don't remember what's going on in this case, because we did kind of take a break here. This case started, like I said, in January 2022, one of the first lawsuits of the year that we covered. And it's basically a complaint against some celebrity endorsers of a cryptocurrency that they're claiming was a pump and dump, and that they failed to disclose that they were putting it up as an ad, which Kim Kardashian has already been punished for that. Like I said, I think she was ordered to pay $1,260,000. If you guys remember, correct me if I'm wrong, by the Security Exchange Commission. And there is a lawsuit in the California Central District about some plaintiffs suing them, basically like Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather posted about this coin, and I believe them, so I spent $10,000 and it was a pump and dump scheme, so they owe us money. It's basically the gist of the complaint. Last time we left off, we talked about the SEC, or the SEC, and how Kim Kardashian had to pay them, but she did not admit liability. And there were some motions to dismiss by pretty much all of the defendants saying that they're not liable and that they failed to state a claim. Rule 12b-6 dismissed this case because they don't have a case, right? So let's go ahead and jump into it. I hope that was a good enough explanation. It was kind of winging it, so hopefully it made sense. And then let's check out what the case is saying. All right, so this is an order from the court. So these are not the parties arguing anymore. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the last time we covered this case, there was supposed to be a hearing in October, but then I think it got delayed to November. And so this order came out on December 6th. I think I was in Tahoe that day. But here we are. Let's see. All right. So this is an order for defendants omnibus. Is that how you say that? Motion to dismiss and the individual defendants' motions to dismiss. And then we're going to kind of get into the main, like I said, this is the one with the spicy. I think they're a little sassy, a little spicy in my opinion. Let me know if you guys think that they are spicy and sassy. Okay. This action demonstrates that just about anyone with a technical skill and or connection can mint a new currency and create their own digital market overnight. Likewise, the action emphasizes the power of social media in allowing celebrities to directly communicate with their millions of fans with a touch of a button. These two facts together have seemingly allowed unvetted and highly volatile investment ventures to go viral based solely on the paid for word of celebrity promoters. Losses have inevitably followed. The court acknowledges that this action raises legitimate concerns over celebrities' ability to readily persuade millions of undiscerning followers to buy snake oil with unprecedented ease and reach. But while the law certainly places limits on those advertisers, it also expects investors to act reasonably before basing their bets on the zeitgeist of the moment. Zeitgeist? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Regardless of the broader concerns, the CCAC may or may not ultimately raise, that's the complaint. I don't know all the letters, but it's the complaint, something amended complaint. I don't remember. Raise the courts. Oh, it was the count. I forgot all the words that they're referring to, but they basically did a complaint and then added some more people to the complaint. And that's why it's called the CCAC instead of like the FAC or the complaint. I just don't remember all the words right now. But the complaint raised the court's holding turn on the facts that the allegations as currently pled are insufficient to state a claim for relief, particularly given the heightened pleading standards for the claims grounded in fraud. So they basically let us know that they are going to reject the plaintiff's case, and they're going to deny, or they're going to dismiss the case to some extent. So let's look at what extent they're going to dismiss it on. All right. So there's basically 6 motions in the case that they're looking at. The motion to dismiss, there we go. There's the words. Consolidated class action complaint filed by defendants, all of those people. They're going to address the motion to dismiss the complaint filed individually by the defendant Perrone. So this is a defendant saying he's not liable. They're going to address the motion to dismiss the complaint filed individually by Gentile, another defendant. They're going to address the motion to dismiss the complaint filed individually by defendant Kim Kardashian on July 29th. Petitions filed in opposition on September 17th. Oh, they mostly went after Kim K. I didn't notice this part when I did my first reading, but they actually filed the response. Oh, they filed a response to other people, but this just looks like a lot more. They focused on her in my head. Okay, they're also going to address the motion to dismiss the complaint filed individually by Pierce, another defendant in the case. And then they're going to address the motion to dismiss the complaint filed individually by Mayweather on September 26th. And I guess they kind of focused on him too. There's a lot in there, but we're not going to read all of it because this thing is 43 pages. And we don't have the time to go through this tonight. Maybe we can come back to it, but tonight we are not doing it, okay? The court has read and considered the papers on the motions and held a hearing on November 7, 2022. In sum, the omnibus motion is granted in full and the individual defendants' motions are denied as moot, with the expectation that the court decided the personal jurisdiction issues raised in certain individual defendants' motions. Specifically, the court rules as follows. The Gentile motion is granted without prejudice because plaintiff relied on bare allegations in the face of specific denials by Gentile that demonstrate that Gentile lacks sufficient minimum context with California for the court to exercise a specific jurisdiction over him. So basically what Gentile, if I'm saying that right, is arguing is that the court they brought this in the wrong court. California court cannot exercise jurisdiction over them because they don't live in California and they didn't do anything to put themselves in California. Simply posting something online is not enough to say that you're purposely availing yourself into California. You have to be like hashtag California. You want to reach the California audience. And basically the court here is saying that Gentile did a great job, or maybe not a great job, but they met their burden to show that the court does not have personal jurisdiction over them because they did not make those sufficient minimum contacts in order to be subject to California's jurisdiction. That was a lot of words. I hope it made sense. But it is granted without prejudice, which means that the plaintiffs can, again, put them back on the line if they can give some more facts of why they should be held to the jurisdiction of the California court. The court denied Perron's motion, which is a defendant. I think he's one of the owners to the coin. They denied it to the extent it seeks dismissal based on lack of personal jurisdiction because, assuming plaintiff's uncontroverted facts are true, Perron purposely directed his activities towards California. We may not get into everything that he did to put himself into California, but maybe he hired Kim Kardashian, who lives in California, who would promote the post from California. And he came to a podcast and went online and said that this is our coin, follow us, whatever. He put himself in California to be sued is basically what the court is saying. We're going to get a little bit deeper into Kardashians because, I don't know, it was funny to me. The Kardashian motion is denied to the extent that it seeks dismissal as to the non-California state law claims based on want of personal jurisdiction because Kardashian domiciled in California is subject to this court's all-purpose general jurisdiction. Basically, what Kim is going to try to argue is that the court doesn't have jurisdiction over her because they would not have had jurisdiction over her if it was brought like in a New York court or a Connecticut court or whatever other court it was brought into. And the court's like, that's not how it works. It was brought in California court, so we have jurisdiction over you. Whether or not we have to apply other states' laws, you can still be sued in California. Nice try, but we're not going for it. And they get spicy. They get a little sassy in there. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. All right. And then we have omnibus motions granted with leave to amend as to the RICO claims because plaintiff lacks standing and failed to possibly allege RICO. Remember, there is a RICO allegation in here, basically that the defendants colluded and became friends and said, we are going to promote this coin and we're going to make all of this money off of this. The court is saying, no, there's no RICO. You guys didn't prove RICO in your complaint. So let's see what else we got here. The omnibus motion is granted without leave to amend. So that means they cannot pull this back into the complaint to the extent it seeks to dismiss claims brought under state laws by plaintiffs that do not reside in the respective states due to those plaintiffs' lack of standing. Basically, wait, what did I just read? That the plaintiffs that don't live in certain states basically can't sue in those states. The omnibus motion is granted without leave to amend, so you can't bring it back into the complaint. The Consumer Legal Remedies Act claim because the act is inapplicable to the sale of intangible goods such as cryptocurrency, and therefore granting leave to amend will be futile. Since cryptocurrency is not tangible, it just doesn't apply. So there's no reason to give them time to try to fix it, basically. Omnibus motion is granted with leave to amend, so they can bring it back as to each of the other state consumer protection statutory claims because plaintiffs failed to adequately plead actual reliance and causation. So they just have to plead those additional things. The motion, omnibus motion is granted with leave to amend as to the aiding and abetting claim against the promoter defendants because the complaint fails to adequately plead that the promoter defendants had actual knowledge of the scheme to defraud the EMAX investor. And so what is good about this order is it's telling them exactly what they were missing from their complaint. And so they can just add it on there. And pretty much they just have to say Kim Kardashian had knowledge of the scheme because she and it has to be true, of course. She went to a meeting where they said they were going to promote it high, they're going to get their money, and then they can get out. It would have to be true, but they could just say they had, upon reasonable belief, they had knowledge that this existed. They had some type of knowledge that this scheme was about to take place. So telling them exactly what they need to do to fix it, if they'll have the facts to fix it, that's another question. Okay. Let's see. The omnibus motion is granted with leave to amend as to the conspiracy claim because the complaint fails to adequately plead the defendant ever reached an agreement to defraud EMAX investors or that each defendant had knowledge of such a scheme. Again, hard. How are they going to say they had knowledge of this? Did they have a meeting and say, hey, these suckers on Instagram are going to fall for this really easily? Let's just tell them to buy this coin. Did that happen? Was there an agreement? The omnibus motion is granted with leave to amend as to the unjust enrichment claims because plaintiff have failed to allege they lack adequate remedies at law. They have to say, if we are not able to sue them and get this money back, we are basically going to lose all of our money, or we can't sell our cryptocurrency to get any money back. But is this just a bad investment, or is this the defendant's fault? Is it a bad investment or the defendant's fault? Remember, cryptocurrency was really new. It was a risky investment. Could we really blame that on all of the defendants? What do you guys think? All right, let's see. Where are we here? The individual defendants' motions are denied as moot to the extent they raise arguments that the court does not reach herein. All right, and then the RJNs are denied as moot as the court did not rely on them to determine rulings. And I think those were just the responses. Okay. So going back into the background, we already kind of went over this. They're basically alleging that there was some type of pump and dump scheme. We have all of the defendants, and they're saying that they conspired to do this pump and dump scheme, and then they failed to let people know. As for Mayweather, they're saying that he made some posts with the defendants, and basically, promoting the coin. And then we have our good sis, Kim Kardashian, who allegedly made that post saying that her friends, or she did make it. It's not alleged. She did make the post, or maybe one of her assistants did, but it was on her Instagram, right? Basically saying that her friends told her about this cryptocurrency and you guys should go get it, without really telling us that she was paid $250,000 to call these defendants her friends. I don't remember this post from Kim Kardashian. So we have the group hospitality live story, and now accepting cryptocurrency for all table reservations and bookings. Is that that's the club? we going to the club on cryptocurrency. You can't be serious, right? All right, we going to the club on cryptocurrency. And then we got, Paul Pierce. I always say Logan Paul, but it's not Logan Paul. I don't know why I always say that. It's Paul Pierce, who was also, but allegedly made the false statements or promoted it or whatever you want to call it. So that's him saying that he made, where'd it go? Telling us that he made $2,500,000. Like us regular people have that much money to even invest. It went up $1 million in one day. Yeah. And people want to get rich quick. This is during COVID. This is where people were trying to make money. Like, they would want to do that. Was it a smart idea? Maybe not. But remember, these are the posts. I don't want to go too much into them just because we got a lot to get into on this order. And so, yeah, ESPN saying he's making more money than he made when he was playing sports. He had a lot of posts. He had a lot of posts that he could potentially be liable for. I didn't see him make a personal jurisdiction claim. And then we got Ethereum Max making their own posts. And then they have the chart showing that it went up, it went down. Whenever they posted, the volume went up, the price went up whenever they posted. And so that they're controlling the alleged pump and dump scam. Okay, let's see. It goes over some more things. If you guys want to know what all of this stuff is, just make sure you check out the original all the way back in January of 2022. We go over all of the allegations in that live stream. So we will go ahead and jump into some of the reasoning. All right, here we go. Let's go to the first paragraph, actually. Let's go. The plaintiffs allege that at least 3 primary facts event such a scheme. The executive defendants did not lock their wallets, which allowed those defendants to immediately sell off their EMEX token when the price hiked without restriction. The executive defendants intentionally concealed their identities and failed to disclose their ownership interest in the EMEX tokens to avoid scrutiny of their sales. And 3, at least some of the promoter defendants, such as Pierce, Brown, and Davis, were paid for their endorsement with EMEX tokens, giving those defendants a direct financial stake in the price. They need to hire Kim Kardashian's lawyer and apparently Floyd Mayweather's lawyer so that they can get paid actual money instead of cryptocurrency if they're going to promote something. I am not promoting ripping off your followers or your celebrities ripping off us regular people, right? But why would you agree to get paid in a cryptocurrency that's sketchy, to say the least? All right. However, even viewing the facts in light most favorable to the plaintiff, which the court has to do because they are the ones filing the complaint, we're reviewing it favorable to the plaintiffs, assuming that they're telling the truth, assuming that they can prove these allegations. The court must note some of the complaints' contrary allegations. For instance, so here we're about to start getting some spiciness. Basically saying that the plaintiffs are alleging one thing, but then saying something else. So here we go. Plaintiffs allege that certain executive defendants did reveal themselves as the EMEX founders in a YouTube video, and defendant Perron specifically told the public that the executive defendants had not yet locked their wallets. Furthermore, the Twitter post by Pierce made clear to the public the fact that he had invested in the EMEX token and had a financial interest in the price, because he posted his little stock increase of $1 million that we just looked at. So they're basically saying they didn't let us know, but then said, oh, look, they let us know because look at these posts and look at this YouTube video. Where are we at? Further, plaintiffs specifically allege that certain promoter defendants did not receive EMEX tokens as compensation for their endorsement. For example, Mayweather did not receive compensation for his endorsement in the form of EMEX tokens. According to Mayweather, Maher, Mayweather's representative, refused payments in EMEX tokens, as you should. Like, why would you accept a sketchy token as payment rather than dollars? That doesn't make sense. So I don't think they were wrong in wanting payment for their promotion, but they did technically promote it wrong. Which has significantly more stability because he got money, because that's what you do when you're paid for something. You don't take. I mean, I guess you can take. I wouldn't. Let's just leave it at that. I wouldn't. All right. It is unclear that the precise terms of the financial compensation that Kardashian was given by the defendants. Kardashian routinely gets paid $300,000 and $1 million for most promotional posts, which is ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, I don't think she really makes those posts. Someone probably takes a picture of her or tells her what type of picture to post, and then her assistant posts it and put the caption and all of the things, and then she gets paid $1 million. But I mean, I guess she has a far reach, and maybe people sell $2 million whenever she posts something. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know her conversion that she can make. Okay. All right. Misleading statements. We're going to skip over some of that stuff. All right, let's get into the legal. Well, let me get into some chats. I've been skipping over the chats, guys. All right, I'm seeing a lot of members. Okay, we got Jude that just subscribed. Welcome to the crew. Love to see it. Tiny D says, thanks to Jude. Toot says, good evening. Did you have the crazy hell thunder lightning Bri? we had thunder, we had rain noises. I did not look out the window. It was like 3 a.m. when I was hearing all the thunder and the rain and everything. I'll ask my fiance if he looked out. Toot says, oh, thank you for the membership. Yes, thank you, Marianne. Cardoba82 says, good to know to swap. I'm on the East Coast for the time being. Okay, we talk about the weather. Marianne saying you're welcome for those that got the memberships. Jude says later, Gator. All right, nice. Thanks for stopping by. Tanya D says that doesn't even make sense. I think we're talking about the case. Toot says, oh yes, very high, insane surf where I am and trees down everywhere. Okay, we're talking about the weather. Thank you to Mary Ann. Welcome to Toot. Toot says, Paula, did you have the thunder, lightning, hail? Okay, wait, we're still in the weather. Okay, Daz B says crypto is largely a scam. Hello Swanky agrees. Two slabs. Cheryl Reed says cryptocurrency at the club. Geez, that's crazy. We're using cryptocurrency to get in the club. As if bottle service was not expensive enough. If you have like an inflated cryptocurrency, just imagine how much you're paying for that bottle service. Tooth says it seems like this is happening behind all crypto schemes. Yeah, a lot of cryptocurrencies are getting sued. Dasby says they create the crypto, buy all the shares before they make it known public, and the coin is already public. Let's go back. They create the crypto, buy all of the shares before they make it known public that the coin is already public. Get the family and friends and associates to buy the next, then release it to the public, which is basically what the plaintiffs are alleging here. And also what the court said was like, obviously anybody with a technical background can make this thing. Doesn't mean it's legitimate. Probably not, which we are seeing with a lot of these cryptos that it's not legitimate. What was that original crypto, that Bitcoin? Everybody wanted to be Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin at this point? But what we had Dogecoin, we got Ethereum Max coin, we got all kinds of stuff that came out of COVID for cryptocurrency. Adasby says once it spiked, they sell immediately and leave the public with all the risk. And that's exactly what the plaintiffs are alleging here. Toot says like Crypto Zoo and the Twitter Crypto Bros. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them, but I believe it. Whatever it is. Carrie Todd says, sorry you're late. That is okay. We're happy to have you here. Cheryl says, I would not take crypto, cash money only. Why would you take crypto? Why would you? Well, maybe if it, was going to take off and you knew it was going to take off, but with all the different cryptos coming out, like, could we really believe it was going to take off in like a way that was going to benefit us and not the celebrities? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Simply Erika saying hi, Bri in chat. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Toot says, sorry, I was wrapped up in the weather. It was scary. We had insane thunder, lightning, rain, hell, noon to 2 p.m. Oh, yeah, we didn't get all of that. Maybe, like I said, at night that was going on, but I sleep with earplugs on, and then I turned the TV on when it was making all of that noise. But I didn't see any flashes, so I'm going to assume we didn't have the lightning. Okay, Dasby says BTC, I think that's Bitcoin, is legit, and Ether, however, the rest of the Wild West. Yes, like I said, everyone wanted to be like Bitcoin. Everyone wanted to be like Ethereum, because remember, this coin is called Ethereum Max coin, but it's not related to Ethereum. So they basically use that name to make it seem like Ethereum came out with a new coin. So, yeah. Interesting stuff, right? Interesting stuff. All right. Tiny D says, thanks for the gifts to Chris Mullen. You rock. Oh, was there another gift in memberships? Did I miss it? Am I missing it? Let me see. My studio was stuck up. So let's see. Yes, Chris Mullen gifted us 5 memberships to the channel. Oh, thank you so much. I love to see who got it. We got Carrie Todd. Yes, dedicated supporter of the channel. Got a membership. Thank you so much, Chris. We got Cheryl Reed with a membership. We got Amber Lowe with a membership. We got Definity Said. And we got You Might Be in a Podcast. Gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Chris. We love the support. The 5 new people, or we got 10 new members today. So you guys got the cool emojis, the cool badges. Thanks to Marianne and thanks to Chris. We are super happy to have you here supporting the channel, and we're super happy to have the new members to the channel. Love to see it. We're going to have a good time at the end of the month. We're going to have a great time. All right, let me catch this up. We got the emojis coming in. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right, Amber Lowe saying, "Oh, you're amazing, Chris." Yes, of course. We got emojis, but look what StreamYard translates it to. Face fuchsia tongue out, face blue-eyed eyes. Like what? Okay. Chriselle Reed says, "Thank you for the membership to Chris Mullen. This is so generous of you. I appreciate it so much." Yes, love to see it. Thank you so much. Chris says, "Hi to Tanya. No worries at all. You're welcome. Thank you so much." All right, we got emojis coming in, but unfortunately, they're not showing on StreamYard. And Carrie Todd says, "Thank you." Paula says, "This sounds like a scam." Shaking my head. Yeah, it does. The case definitely sounds like a scam. And like I said, this order is 43 pages, so we have a lot more scam to get through, okay? So let's check out what else they have to say. And guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button if you are here, even if you don't like it. Go ahead and hit the like button to help us out in the algorithm. Help us get some more friends to the channel so we can do this more. Well, maybe not more, but it's fun, right? All right. Okay, so we are doing a 12B6 motion to dismiss. You failed to state a claim. Okay, dismissal under 12B6 is proper when the complaint either lacks a cognizable legal theory or fails to allege sufficient facts to support cognizable legal theory. The Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 8A2 requires only a short and plain statement of the claim showing that the pleader is entitled to relief in order to give the defendant fair notice of what claim and grounds upon which it rests. So remember, the court has already told them they failed to allege causation in something. They failed to allege that the defendants knew that this was a scheme going on. But they had facts to show, like, okay, this potentially could have been a scam, but was the knowledge there to hold the defendants liable? Was the meeting of the minds there to hold the defendants liable? Those are questions that need answers. Okay. Let's see where we at. We're not going to go through all of the legal standard of it because it's a lot of mumbo jumbo. And then we're going to talk about fraud a little bit. So fraud-based claims are governed by Rule 9B. In this case here, the Rule 9B standard applies to California consumer protection claims, including under the CLRA and the Uniform Contract Law. I don't know what the CLRA stands for off the top of my head. So Rule 9B demands that when avertments of fraud are made, the circumstances constituting the alleged fraud be specific enough to give defendants notice of the particular misconduct so they can defend against the charge. Basically, they need to give them enough information in order. Same thing like 12B6, but it just goes to the fraud claims. Let's see. Whereas allegations concerning circumstances of fraud must include the who, what, when, where, how, and the misconduct charged. Let's see. Issues of malice, intent, knowledge, and other conditions of a person's mind may be alleged generally. So they may be able to get into, they may be able to overcome their, their burden of proof by just saying Kim Kardashian knew that this was intended to be a pump and dump scheme, and then they do discovery to find out more. So there's that. Let's see. All right. And then 3 of the defendants, Gentile, Perone, and Kardashian, moved to dismiss under 12B lack of jurisdiction. I did not look all the way into theirs. Let's see why. Why was theirs dismissed? Okay. Okay. So they're basically talking about general and specific jurisdiction. So basically you either live there or you purposely availed yourself there. The general jurisdiction permits a court to hear any and all claims against a defendant, whether or not the conduct at issue has connection to the forum, may only be exercised where a defendant's contacts with the forum are continuous and systematic. Usually, like I said, you live there. Specific jurisdiction exists when a case arises out of or relates to the defendant's conduct or contacts in the forum. Basically, you purposely availed yourself there. Here we have the purposeful direction test. Let's see. Applies the first prong of the test where the plaintiff primarily asserts statutory and tort claims. Purposeful direction occurs where the defendant committed an intentional act and especially aimed at that forum state and causing that harm to the defendant knows is likely to be suffered in that forum state. So here we go. This is his actions that they are alleging directed him towards California, was promoting in-person influencer events in Los Angeles, promoting California business that accept EMAX, engaging California business ambassadors to promote EMAX, issuing a misleading press release out of Los Angeles, issuing the white paper that was reviewed by legal counsel in Los Angeles, and creating tokens that were sold to plaintiffs in California and this district. All right, he submitted a declaration regarding his lack of contacts. In response, plaintiff merely relied on their allegations in a complaint, which Gentile directly contradicts in his declaration. This is insufficient. A plaintiff may not simply rest on bare allegations. Okay, so basically Gentile was able to show that he did not do the things that the plaintiff is alleging, and it's a lot of information there. So the court says, accordingly, because the court lacks personal jurisdiction over Gentile, this motion is granted and the claims against Gentile in the complaint are dismissed without prejudice, which means that they can bring it back, okay, to try to show that he is liable in California. Further, plaintiff's request for jurisdictional discovery is denied. No, you can't do discovery to find out if he did purposely avail himself there, is basically what the court is saying. Okay, let's see. And then we have Perrone. He is not, let me see, is he of interest to me? I don't think so. He's not of interest. He basically, the court say that they have jurisdiction over him. Okay, let's get into Kardashian. That's who I wanted to see. I wanted to see the Kardashian. Okay, the complaint alleges that Kardashian does not dispute that Kardashian is domiciled in California, which will give you general jurisdiction, which it doesn't matter where she did her stuff at. She would be considered a domiciled resident of California, so people can sue her in California and they can sue her in whatever county she lives in or that she lives close by. So she would pretty much automatically be subjected as long as they sued her in the right county, in the right state, which is California. But she is saying no, California court, no California district court. You do not have jurisdiction over me because even though I live here, they're alleging other states' laws. So no, you cannot exercise jurisdiction over me. The court goes on to say, yet to this court's surprise, so basically Kim Kardashian does not deny that she's domiciled so that they have general jurisdiction. Yet to this court's surprise, Kardashian moves to dismiss for lack of personal jurisdiction under 12b-2. The primary focus of the personal jurisdiction inquiry is the defendant's relationship to the forum state. For an individual, the paradigm for the exercise of general jurisdiction is the individual's domicile. So she lives there. So any claim made against her in California, it can be heard in California, even if it's under some other state's law, right? But the court, this is where they get sassy, goes on to say, here, because Kardashian is domiciled in California, she is amenable to suit here regardless of the alleged claims, which should be known by counsel, right? Yet Kardashian nonchalantly advances a novel, if not mistaken, theory of personal jurisdiction. This judge is sassy. Kardashian argues that due process limits exercise of jurisdiction over her as to the non-California plaintiff's state law claims. Specifically, Kardashian contends that because there are no allegations that Kardashian had minimum contacts with the non-California plaintiff states, she could not have had noticed that she could be held into court to defend claims raised under those states' law. But it doesn't matter what the state law is. She sued in California. Surely, here we get some sass. Okay. Surely Kardashian's competent counsel is well aware that personal jurisdiction is concerned where an action is brought and the convenience of the forum for the defendant, it has little, if anything, to do with which laws the action is based on. Kardashian does not point this court to a single case that has extended this concept of personal jurisdiction in such a manner. Oddly enough, this fundamental distinction appears to be lost on plaintiffs, given plaintiffs have blindly followed Kardashian into the line of reasoning. So basically, the plaintiffs' attorney should have known that this was not a legitimate argument, but they basically responded to the argument. And the court is low-key making fun of them for that reason. Okay. They fell into the reasoning. Okay. So plaintiff's opposition brief on the issue solely focused on establishing Kardashian has sufficient contact with the non-California states, which was not needed in this case. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're not going to go all the way into that. Okay, so while some other doctrine may theoretically provide a basis for Kardashian to argue that non-California laws do not apply to her, the court will not dismiss as a matter of personal jurisdiction certain claims based on the fact that they are brought under non-California state laws. This court has all-purpose jurisdiction over Kardashian, so don't try it again, which allows it to hear any claim against her. In short, personal jurisdiction concerns a court authority to issue a binding judgment against the defendant, not the court or state's legislature authority to apply non-forum state laws to a forum resident defendant. So your motion is denied. The court will continue to hear the claims against you. So they low-key called her attorneys a little slow. In different words, they called them a little slow, in my opinion, but that's okay. Yeah, Kardashian, you're not getting out of this one. Perun, you're not getting out of this one. But somebody did get out of it, just not those people, okay? Let's see what the peoples are saying. We got some more emojis coming in. Chris Mullen says, it's a pleasure. Yes, thank you again. Cheryl Reed said they tried it. They definitely tried it. They definitely tried it. Tiny D says, basically the judge said, you tried it. And no, that's basically, they're like, no, we're not doing that. And plaintiffs, not only are we not doing that, but why did you even fall for that? Tiny D says, we are on the same page, Cheryl. Amber Lowe says, so isn't Kardashian actually working towards being an attorney? So wouldn't that be something she knows? Because it sounds like something in basic law. The thing is, she might be in not constitutional, in civil procedure law, and maybe she is misapplying the rules to her exam, so she probably won't be passing civil procedure if this is the line of reasoning that she's going to try to use. Now she has an order on it, so now she knows that it is wrong, but hopefully... I hope she's not applying this logic to her civil procedure test, okay? Kim Kardashian gonna beat me up one day. Cheryl Reed says, oh yes, honey, we are. You would think Amber, like Amber Heard. Are we thinking about Amber Heard right now? In the arguments? Swat Watson says, I was wondering if this will affect Kardashian's bid to become an attorney, given the moral conduct application required for the state California bar. So when she applies to be an attorney, we're all just going to submit these arguments to the court saying she approved this. She let her attorneys turn this into the court. She may or may not have suggested this argument to her attorneys. Just kidding. All fun and games. These are all alleged laughs, jokes. Don't take me serious. Okay. Let's get into the RICO claim. Let's see here. All right. we're going into the RICO claim. Basically, all of these defendants conspired. To state a civil claim for RICO violation under 18 U.S.C., a plaintiff must show conduct of an enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. Let's see. Additionally, to have standing under Section 1964C, the civil RICO plaintiff must show that his alleged harm qualifies as an injury to his business or property, which will be the money. He lost his money, and that his harm was by reason of the RICO violation, which requires the plaintiff to establish proximate causation. Let's see. A civil RICO plaintiff can only recover to the extent that he has been injured in his business or property. Rule 9b applies to the fraudulent conduct relevant to the alleged common purpose of the enterprise and the alleged predicate acts, and thus requires a heightened showing of the circumstances of fraudulent acts. Rule 9b does not allow a complaint to merely lump multiple defendants together, but requires plaintiff to differentiate their allegations to inform each defendant separately of the allegations particular to the defendant alleged participation in the fraud. Basically have to say they came together at a table and said, yep, we're going to do this. And Kim Kardashian already agreed. So Floyd, are you in or are you out? I'm out. No, just the defendants argue that plaintiff's RICO claim fails as to each and every element. Plaintiffs, of course, disagree. An initial matter, the court notes that is a cursory review of the case law concerning RICO claims and alleged pump and dump schemes quickly reveal an issue not briefed by the parties. Neither party briefed this issue, so it's hard for the court to make a determination. Huh? Welcome back. All right, let's see. Let's get into it. Because the issue was not briefed, you don't want the court to say that. Because you did not address this, we're going to go ahead and address it for you. And we're going to apply it for you. And now these attorneys will know if they ever have a case like this again to do their proper briefing of the things that apply. And basically, for those of you that don't know, the briefing is like, okay, they made these claims. I want them to dismiss it because they haven't alleged a RICO enterprise. And what the court is saying is that there are elements that they must meet or that they must plead to show that a RICO charge applies. Not charge, but this is a civil case. A civil RICO applies, and neither one of you even addressed it. You didn't even go through the arguments of why it either does or does not apply to you. That's bad for the defendants, but it's also bad for the plaintiffs. But the court helped the plaintiffs out in this, and which is why they have the leave to amend on certain things. I don't think they have leave to amend on the RICO actually, but yes, they failed. The attorneys failed in that regard. Okay. Because the issue was not briefed, however, the court will not dismiss the RICO claim based solely on PSLR bar. Don't know what they're abbreviating there. Nonetheless, the court concludes that the claim must be dismissed for independent reasons. Defendants argue that plaintiff's alleged injury is not an injury to the property as required by RICO, but rather is merely an injury to plaintiff expectancy of interest, which, like I said, was it just a risky move, or did they really rely on the defendants? All of these cryptos are coming out, and you're just buying whichever one you see other people talking about. Was this really the defendant's fault, or was this the plaintiff's fault for not being a little bit more skeptical about what the plaintiffs are posting? Plaintiffs countered that because they allege they overpaid for the EMAX token at the artificially inflated price, they have sufficiently alleged a well-recognized property injury under RICO. The court agrees with the defendants. To successfully plead RICO injury, the plaintiff must plausibly allege a harm to a specific business or property interest. However, RICO does not provide a cause of action for all types of injury to the property interest, but only for injuries resulting in concrete financial loss. Since this is a cryptocurrency and the amount that you can make on it is speculative, You cannot say you lost that money. You cannot say you lost that money. How much were they supposed to make? Well, Paul Pierce made $1 million. So I'm going to make $1 million. Did the defendants say, hey, if you buy this coin, you're going to make $1 million, or you're going to make a guaranteed 20% increase that you're going to be able to pocket? Did the plaintiffs not pull out of the game early enough so that they could get their 10%? A lot of questions that need answers. Let's say I was going to buy a house. It's guaranteed to go up $50,000. Can't do that. Can't do that. Rico, we're going to steal Brianna's Boss Attorney Bri's computer. She's going to lose that specific amount of money. I don't have my computer anymore. It's an injury to my property because now I have to go out and buy a new computer so that I can stream with you guys. Concrete financial loss. But this, I bought Ethereum Max. I can make $14 million off of it. Not concrete financial loss is basically what the court is trying to say. All right, let's go into it. And out-of-pocket loss is sufficient, but not necessary to satisfy this requirement. Let's see. The Ninth Circuit has stated that in the ordinary context of a commercial transaction, a consumer who has been overcharged can claim an inquiry or injury to her property based on wrongful deprivation of her money. On the other hand, the Ninth Circuit has explained that a mere expectancy of interest is insufficient to confer RICO standing. The value of a plaintiff's purchase is determined at the time of purchase, and that's how much it was worth at the time of purchase, basically. As another district court has reasoned, the critical distinction between the cases find that a plaintiff has adequately pled an injury based on overpayment rather than an injury based on buyer's remorse. Is it buyer's remorse? Seem to turn on whether the plaintiff has plausibly alleged that they paid more than the fair market value of the items they purchased. Was that coin worth that much at the time that they purchased them? The court concludes that plaintiffs have failed to allege facts supporting contention that they paid more than a fair market value for the EMAX token at the time of their purchase. As defendants point out, plaintiffs do not dispute that they received the corresponding numbers of tokens based on the token's actual and real-time value at the time purchase. Indeed, if plaintiffs have sold their tokens immediately after purchasing them, they do not allege that they would have received less than what they paid for. Rather, it seems quite plausible based on plaintiff's own allegations that plaintiff could have received far more than what they paid for the tokens had they sold them at the right time. Yeah, you didn't pull out fast enough. Okay. Things that go through my head. Okay. This inherent volatility in the market price is precisely why plaintiffs likely purchased the token in the first place. You can make money fast. That's why you guys bought it. And that's what the court sees. All right. For the chance to capitalize on sharp upswings, plaintiffs cannot claim that they paid more than the fair market value for the EMAX tokens because the tokens inherently have no value outside of the market, what they're willing to pay at the time. Not the court going in on cryptocurrency. Not the court going in on cryptocurrency. Although in the opposition, plaintiffs claim their injury of an artificial high price, it is clear that the essence of the plaintiff's RICO claim is that the tokens are now, months after purchasing, worthless. Bad investment. It's a bad investment. That's all. Bad investment. Now, if they would have sold them, said they're going to get a package of 10 coins, but it turns out they only got one coin, then sure, you overpaid because you thought you were getting 10 coins. Or if you were buying a box of donuts and they said that there were 10 donuts in the box of donuts and you only get 3 donuts, then yes, you overpaid because you didn't get all of the donuts that you paid for. It's basically what they're saying. You got all the tokens that you paid for. It's just no longer worth that. Let's say you bought the box of donuts. When you got there, if you're not going to Costco, because they will reduce the price for you, most likely. If you go to buy donuts from Krispy Kreme, because we know they're not giving no discounts like that. Go to buy donuts at Krispy Kreme. At 9 o'clock, they cost you $10. But if you would have went at 12 p.m., you cannot then come back and say, hey, I overpaid. Can I now get the donuts at $6 since they're $6 now? They're going to be like, yeah, if you buy another box. But if you go to Costco, they might say, I'll give you the price of the $10 donuts back. I hope that makes sense. It made sense to me. I hope that makes sense. They got what they asked for, basically. They just didn't sell at the right time. It's like buying the 10 donuts and then you sell them on the black market. Sell your donuts on the black market for an inflated price because Krispy Kreme has some type of special ingredient or something, you know? Or like our Taylor Swift tickets. You bought it for a lower price, or if you would have got them the first time and then you sell it for a higher price, you sell it. But if you sell the ticket too late after the concert, then of course you're not going to get the same price you get on the secondary market, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm having too much fun with this. Okay. Let's see. The Ninth Circuit found persuasive the reasoning of another court that held that the benefit of the bargain with such trade cards was the chance itself. The chance, a lottery. You are entering into a lottery to win insert cards and give the chance given that chance was real. Having paid for it and received it, the card purchaser has not suffered any financial loss or RICO property injury. Here too, the most apparent reason a consumer would purchase an inherently volatile and novel, remember guys, this is a new cryptocurrency that they're investing into to effectively pay mainstream money for another widely unaccepted form of money. Unless you're going to that club, you got to pay cryptocurrency at the club. Sorry guys, cryptocurrency at the club. Okay, where are we at? Consumer hopes that one day the tokens will be worth more than the price for which the consumers paid for them. Yeah, that would make sense because that would be like anybody that invests in the stock market. All of a sudden, the market goes down, and then they're suing Costco because their stock went down because they thought that the stock was going up. It's an investment. It was risky. I get what the court is saying for the RICO claims. Now, should they not have promoted it in the way that they did? Probably not. But is it a RICO claim? Probably not. Did they conspire to do this to them? Probably not. Okay, here we go. Where are we? Certainly based on plaintiff's own allegation, it appears that at least some people did sell their EMAX tokens for a hefty profit, and perhaps plaintiff may still do so in the future if it goes back up, right? Plaintiff's disappointment with the fact that they did not sell their tokens before the market plummeted was an inherent risk of the bargain. When the plaintiff decided to gamble, he paid for and received the opportunity to win. When that chance did not pay off, it did not mean that he suffered a RICO property loss. However, plaintiff's disappointment at not winning their bets does not constitute an injury to property sufficient to confer a RICO standing. I agree with the court. Therefore, the court concludes that plaintiffs lack standing to bring their RICO claim because at bottom, their injury is nothing more than disappointment. I feel like they're lecturing a toddler. Was nothing more than disappointment over their EMAX token their EMAX tokens are worth today, not what they were worth at the time that they purchased. They lost money because they made a bad investment, is what the court is saying. Was the defendant's promotion correct? Probably still not, but is it a RICO claim? Not to this court, no. And I would agree with them on the standing. Okay, even assuming the plaintiff, so for the sake of argument, if the plaintiffs try to come back and say that the court ruled incorrectly and that they actually did have standing, to prevent this on appeal, the court makes the second part of the argument. Okay. Even assuming plaintiffs have standing, plaintiffs failed to adequately allege a RICO enterprise. Plaintiff asked the court to make huge leaps of logic to string together disconnected acts that, when read together, supposedly evince a premeditated and well-orchestrated pump and dump scheme in violation of the federal RICO statute. Did the defendants get together and sit around the table and say, we are going to pump and dump these things? Screw these suckers on Instagram. They are going to lose. Did they say that? Probably not. Okay, but a hodgepodge of conclusory and desperate allegations does not does not a RICO claim make? That was a weird way to say it. The allegations more plausibly suggest that each defendant, especially the promoter defendants, acted in furtherance of their own personal advantage, getting money, regardless of the interests of the alleged enterprise. Yeah, they were not working as a group. Kim Kardashian is not splitting her $250,000 with Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather is not going to take those Emax coins in exchange for whatever money he got, right? I don't know why he took those Emax coins. Well, apparently he made $1 million off of it, so it might have been worth more at the time. The RICO statute defines an enterprise as any individual, partnership, corporation, association, or other legal entity, and any union or group of individuals associated, in fact, although not a legal entity. To establish liability under 1962C, one must allege and prove the existence of two distinct entities: a person, which includes business entities, and an enterprise that is not simply the same person referred to by a different name. There must therefore be some distinctness between the enterprise and the individual of defendants that are alleged to be constituent part of the enterprise. Moreover, while the enterprise need not have a separate structure, it must be allegedly separately from racketeering activities it allegedly engaged in as the enterprise and the activity of the two separate things. Okay, let's see. An associated, in fact, enterprise or group of persons associated together for a common purpose and engaging in the course of conduct to establish the existence of such enterprise, a plaintiff must provide, so many words, both evidence of an ongoing organization, formal or informal, and evidence that the various associate functions and continue to go. And in this instance, it seems like each of them were paid for their distinct promotion, and there was no like overlap between anybody. I don't want to go through all of this because it's a lot of words. Okay, let's see where we are. Here, the complaint does not plausibly suggest the RICO enterprise existed, but rather the complaint more plausibly suggests that each defendant acted for his or her own individual benefit, which is probably true. Finding RICO claims not adequately pleaded because after plaintiff legal conclusions were set aside, all that remained was conduct consistent with ordinary business conduct and ordinary business purpose, which is true. Whenever you see these sponsorships on YouTube supporting other YouTube channels, you might see Graham Stephan do Better Health and then somebody else do Better Health. Is now those two YouTubers, are they now conspiring to get everybody to get into Better Health? No, they got paid individually, and the money goes in their pocket, not them sharing the money amongst each other. Okay, let's see where we are here. Ordinary course of business. An association based upon business relationship does not constitute an enterprise under the section 1962, as the enterprise must have an existence apart from the predicate acts in order to establish the enterprise function as a continuing unit. All right, it goes into some more things about deceitful practices. We're not going to jump into that. Okay. At the hearing, the court expressed skepticism that plaintiffs could cure the standing deficiency given the court's holding turns on a question of law. However, unlike other rulings within the court to which plaintiffs' counsel acknowledged that amendment would be futile, plaintiffs' counsel insisted that the complaint could be amended to cure the standing deficiency. Although the court is doubtful, the court will give plaintiffs one and only one chance to amend the RICO claim to adequately allege standing and an enterprise. Any future amended complaint and subsequent motion to dismiss should also address the PSLRA is not a bar to the RICO claim. Accordingly, the omnibus motion is granted with leave to amend. Okay, so this one was granted with leave to amend. So they can try to fix it, but the court already told them no. And I don't think that they have enough to show. I don't think that they have enough to show that it was a RICO claim, the injury and everything. Standing to assert claims under other state laws, and that's just going to get into the consumer's legal remedy, which the court ultimately decided that they have standing but they need to prove the fact that the defendants are liable. So they need to either prove causation, and then they need to prove different remedies, and then they also need to prove intent on one of them. But we have a whole nother case to go through, so we are going to not do that part. And if you guys are interested in seeing it, let me know, and I might create like a little folder for you guys to see what else is going on in that case. So we still have Girardi to get through. This one took a lot longer than I thought because the spiciness was really funny to me. All right, let me go through some of the chats, and then we will jump right into Erika Girardi, which is not as long of a document, so we should be able to finish that one a little quicker. All right. So we have Cheryl Reed's new member of the channel saying, has any crypto venture been successful for non-celebrities? I think some people won a little bit on Dogecoin, but then it quickly went down. Like they won a little, kind of like going to the casino. You win a little, and then you lose it all. That's basically what I've seen happen, but I don't know for sure. Mav says, my ex made a profit on crypto. I think it was like 4K. But he got out before the drama started. Exactly. This is what the court is saying, that the plaintiffs were wishing. They got out before it went bad. Davs Beat says, depends what you perceive successful to be. There are plenty of cryptos that grew ridiculously and people became filthy rich from it, but these were short-term plays, not investments that'll last decades. And this is kind of probably what happened to the plaintiffs in this case. They were growing, and then all of a sudden it stopped growing. And then they lost their money. But if they would have pulled out at that top point instead of being greedy and hoping that more comes of it because other people have gotten more from other cryptocurrencies, maybe they wouldn't be in the predicament that they're in now. Cheerful Bacon saying, sorry to miss you live tonight. Just got my girls in the bath, so I'm popping in to say hi and hit the like. Well, thank you for stopping by. Nice to see you. Hopefully bedtime routine goes well for you. Okay. Tanya says, thank you to Cheerful. Dasby says, your husband was very smart, Mav. Cheryl Reed says, Mav, that's great. He was able to profit, and even better, he got out. Yeah, don't, not like these people, right? Tanya D said, I don't think the celebs care enough about the everyday person to conspire against them. All they care about now, the thing is, Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather allegedly did not get paid with crypto. Paul Pierce got paid with crypto, and some other celebrities that are not named, or some other promoters that are not heavily named in the complaints, like these three people. Paul Pierce is the only one that accepted crypto. So he's the only one that's going to benefit off of conspiring with the conspiring with the other defendants to have the coin be pumped. Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather, if true and they were actually paid with money, would not really benefit from a pump and dump because they get paid their money just for making the post. Unless there were some type of deliverables, like 500,000 people needed to come from their post, and then they will get paid, which I highly doubt that was one of the conditions to them getting paid. I would assume that they were paid regardless of it, if people came from Kardashian's post or Mayweather post or whoever else's post. They were paid to make the post, and that was it. 24 hours, $250,000 allegedly. Cheryl Reed says to Dasby, thanks for your explanation. Makes sense and helpful for my limited understanding. Dasby says, no problem. Glad I could give perspective. Hella Swanky says, like the stock market, bit way, way worse. Yes, exactly. Hella Swanky says, Logan Paul enters the chat at Tanya D. Logan Paul? I don't think Logan Paul watches the live stream. You mean Paul Pierce? Because I keep calling him Logan Paul too, but it's not the same person. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm mad confused. Okay, let's jump into Girardi because your girl got to eat and I got to go to the store. It's already 7:30 here. Let's see. Girardi. For those of you that do not know what's going on with the Girardi case, I know Emily covered it today. And she had a pretty long stream today. I don't know if it was all Girardi, but she probably will have a lot more information than me because she does this full time and she has been keeping up with this pretty much full time, or not full time, but throughout the whole case. I just started getting acquainted with it within the last couple of months. But basically, Erika Girardi, whatever you want to call her, she's a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills. She used to be like one of my favorite characters on the show, but her husband has been sued and his law firm has been sued for allegedly stealing money from clients. The law firm has gone bankrupt, and now all the creditors are trying to get their money back from the law firm, and whoever is connected to the law firm that can potentially be liable for the money that was stolen. In Erika's case, they are saying that she is liable because her husband stole the money, probably to pay for her lavish trips on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And also Erika Jayne is a performer who has admitted that her husband pays for a lot of the production costs, allegedly. So they are saying that she is allegedly liable. Her husband, I believe he's in like a conservatorship right now because does he have like dementia or something like that? Don't quote me on that. I'm trying to remember what his issue is, but I believe he is in a conservatorship. So creditors are going after whoever they need to go after to get their money back. And we're talking about millions stolen, millions lost, and a bunch of creditors, over 100 creditors, if I remember correctly. So a lot of people are not going to get their money back. And so there have been several bankruptcy cases filed. There have been several civil complaints filed, a bunch of lawsuits going on about the same law firm, the same Girardi Keys law firm. Okay. So let's go ahead. This is another bankruptcy court lawsuit of people trying to collect. Okay. All right. Let's see. How do I share? Okay, here we are. All right. United States Bankruptcy Court of the Central District of California. We are in the Central District again. We have in re the Girardi Keys matter, and then we have defendant or the plaintiffs. Oh, sorry. They're saying it's related to the other Girardi Keys matter, and we have plaintiffs Alyssa Miller solely in her capacity as Chapter 7 trustee versus Erika Girardi, aka Erika Jayne, an individual. Let's see if we can get our money back from Erika Jayne. This is a complaint for avoidance and recovery of fraudulent transfers, preservation of fraudulent transfers, and disallowance of claims. So we're going to take a look at what this person is alleging against Erika Jayne. Let's see. And remember, she is the wife of the person that was partner at the law firm that allegedly funded her lifestyle from him taking money from his clients that he was not supposed to take. And let me tell you something. Being a lawyer, you have very strict requirements to keep up with your client trust account. And because of this case, we now have a new reporting requirement in California. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad so far. I don't know if it's going to get worse, but just the reporting requirement was not bad. I don't know if they're going to start auditing a lot more people because of this case, but we did have to, acknowledge that, yes, if you have a trust account and that you're basically keeping their funds where they're supposed to be kept. So thank you, Girardi Keys, for creating another step every time we renew our license. Every time we renew our license, more questions to be answered. Okay. And then we have, let's jump into the case here. We have for her complaint for allowance and recovery of fraudulent transfer, preservation of fraudulent transfer, and disallowance of claims, plaintiff Alyssa Miller, the duly appointed qualified acting Chapter 7 trustee for the estate of the debtors Girardi Keys, and as successor in interest trustee of the Girardi Keys client trust account, hereby and alleges and affirms the following. Statement and jurisdiction of the nature and venue. I'm not going to go through that. It's just establishing where they live. We're going to go through the facts that's relevant to all of the allegations herein. Let me see where we go. I want to see what you guys are saying in the chat, and then we'll finish it up. Let's see. Let's see. Hello, Swanky. Seriously? Hello, Swanky said, "LOL, no, I was referring to Logan Paul's latest scam." Oh, yeah. I know. I'm not all the way familiar with it, but I did see it popping up on Twitter. I just haven't looked into it yet. Nebula Cosmic said, "No, honey, Logan Paul did a pump it up." Oh, yeah. Oh, I did see that article pop up. I thought you were referring to like the Logan Paul issue with CoffeeZilla. Is that all intertwined? I haven't looked into that CoffeeZilla stuff. Two says he was conspiring against his fans, allegedly. Tanya D says, "I know the name, but I didn't even know who Logan Paul is." I only knew who Logan Paul was because I used to watch a lot of like gossip tea channels about like other YouTubers, and I never watched the YouTubers channel, but I just liked hearing about the crazy stuff that they did. Okay. Hello, Smoky says it was in response to Tanya D's comment about celebs not deliberately taking advantage of the everyday person, which is pretty much exactly what he did more than once. Yeah, they say he does that a lot. Not even with just crypto. Didn't he do it or allegedly do it with like one of those little gift websites where it's like, oh, you pay $1 and you can win a $1 million house or something like that? Didn't he do one of those too? I might be confusing him with someone else like the Ace family or someone else. Okay. Two says, and SBF in other ways, the Twitter crypto bros. Yeah. Two says he has Alzheimer's with some emojis. And then Cheryl says conservatorship and dementia. Emily D. Baker did about 2 hours on Girardi today. Yeah, I saw that she was going live at like 11. But I was working. I was like, oh, I want to watch it. And then like I checked back. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock. I'm like, geez Louise, she was streaming for so long. Nebula Cosmic says, you really should look into Logan Paul. Yeah, he actually did come up in my search of what we were going to cover today, but I like these cases better. So I might take a look at some of the other stuff. Hello Swanky says, yeah, that's the same. CoffeeZilla is the one who exposing him. The first to cover the story rather. Oh, okay. So it was all intertwined. Yeah, the article I found was that he was apologizing for basically scamming his followers. So is CoffeeZilla right? Dropped his allegations against CoffeeZilla, right? Okay, let's see. Relevant facts. In its heyday, Girardi Keese was one of the most successful plaintiff law firms in the country. We've heard this a million times. It certainly was the prominent plaintiff's firm in the state of California. The firm's founder, Thomas Girardi, which is Erika Jane's husband, was a legendary trial attorney, often viewed as the Clarence Darrow of the plaintiff's bar, reeling in hundreds of millions of dollars in settlement and jury verdicts. Girardi Keese practice covered the universe of plaintiff cases ranging from personal injury, defective products, sexual abuse, and toxic torts to business, employment, and aviation law. Like 30.
Can I eat?
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, but similar to when Toto pulled the curtain back to reveal the Wizard of Oz was a hoax, the world eventually learned that Girardi Keese was nothing more than an illicit and felonious business operated to line the rather large pockets of Thomas, his wife, and numerous cohorts. While the trustee continues to investigate the magnitude of the fraud that spanned decades, it is obvious that millions of dollars of clients' funds were stolen and diverted to fund the lavish lifestyle of Thomas and other non-deserving parties. And remember, guys, there has already been a civil lawsuit filed against Erika, and she was dismissed from it. And that was a couple of months ago. But she may be more liable under this bankruptcy. I am not all the way familiar with bankruptcy law, so I am just reading and getting your opinions on it. I don't really have analysis on it. I think that Rob from Law and Lumber does bankruptcy, so maybe we'll have him come over or see if he wants to come over and help us on any of this at some point. Okay. On December 18, 2020, the petition date, after discovering that Girardi Keese stole the settlement monies of the family who lost loved ones in the disastrous crash of Lion Air Flight JT610, petitioning creditors Jill Callahan as successor of interest in James Callahan, Robert M. Keys, John Abassin, Erika Saldana, Virginia Antonio, and Kimberly Archie, collectively the petitioning creditors, commenced an involuntary petition for relief. Oh, there's the rain. Sounds like hell, actually. Oh, that's loud. There's our rain, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Let's see. On December 24th, 2020, petitioning creditors caused to be filed their motion for appointment of interim trustee pursuant 11 USC 303G. Memorandum of Points of Authorities. On January 5th, 2021, the court entered the order granting motion of petitioner creditors for the appointment of the trustee. On January 6, 2021, the Office of the United States Trustee filed the corrected notice of appointment, pursuant which, among other things, Alyssa Miller was appointed interim chapter. Okay, you did all of that to let us know she is the trustee. Okay, on to it. On January 13, 2021, the court entered the order directing the clerk of the court to immediately enter an order for relief under Chapter 7, the United States trustee to immediately appoint Chapter 7 trustee, the debtor, to file all schedules and related documentation to the Chapter 7 case within 14 days of the entry of the order, and vacating February 16, 2021 status conference. On January 13, 2021, the clerk court entered its order for relief in order to file scheduled statements with the list. On January 13, 2021, the Office of the United States Trustee filed a notice of appointment, again, letting us know that she is the trustee. Let's see, where is the good stuff at? Where was the good stuff at? Okay, plaintiff brings the action solely in her capacity as the trustee for the debtor's estate and its respective creditors and the successor in interest to the Girardi Keys client account. Basically, she's collecting the money on behalf of the people that was harmed. To the extent that plaintiff hereby asserts claims under 11 USC 544B, plaintiff is informed and believes, and on the basis alleges thereon, that there exists in this case one or more creditors holding unsecured claims allowable by 11 USC 502 or that are allowable under 11 USC 502E who could have avoided the respective transfers or obligations under California or applicable law to the petition date. Okay. She's alleging upon information and belief that she reserves the right to amend the complaint, allege additional claims against defendant, and to challenge the recovered transfer made for the benefit of the defendant, in addition to those transfers in this complaint. Basically, all the money that you received, you got to give it back. That's what she's going to try to do for the creditors. Plaintiff is informed and believes, and on the basis alleges thereon, that defendant Erika Girardi, aka Erika Jane, is an individual residing in the jurisdiction of the court, and at all times mentioned herein was the wife of Thomas. At all relevant times, Erika was the initial transferee of the transfers alleged herein, or was the party for whose benefit the transfers were made, and or immediate transfer free of the initial transfer. All those words to say Tom was giving the money to his wife. All those words to say that Tom was allegedly giving the money to the wife. Oh my gosh, that's so loud. 1 second, guys. Oh, he's turning it down. Okay. During the time when Girardi Keys was the precarious financial state and was not paying its creditors, Girardi Keys began a systematic process of draining the available cash, oftentimes consisting of stolen client funds, by, among other things, making distributions to certain preferred creditors or third parties from funds of Girardi Keys' estate. During the 7-year period prior to the petition date, with the assistance of various partners, employees, and family members, Thomas and Girardi Keys conspired by purpose and design to abscond and secrete, interesting words, the assets of Girardi Keys for the purpose of defrauding the Girardi Keys creditors, basically hiding the money so that they didn't have to pay the creditors and they can continue to live their cool lifestyle. In virtually each instance, these transfers were made for less than reasonably equivalent value in return and during a time in which Girardi Keese was insolvent or was rendered insolvent as a result of the transfer. So when Girardi Keese was engaged or was about to engage in business or a transaction for which the remaining assets of Girardi Keese were unreasonably small in relation to the business or transaction, because, oh, you guys can't see, I'm just reading and looking weird. Okay, here we go. All right. Where are we at? Okay. Oftentimes, for instance, Girardi Keese used funds that should have been segregated into the IOTA, which is the interest on lawyers' trust accounts, meant to safeguard such clients' funds. However, at all relevant times, Thomas Girard and Girardi Keese used Girardi's Keese operating IOTA accounts as if they were common depositories of not only Girardi Keese's client funds, but also personal funds of Thomas, his family members, and other third parties. As a result of commingling the funds in Girardi Keese's general operating accounts, transfers from the IOTA and general operating accounts constitute transfer of funds in which Girardi Keese had an interest. Okay, so they are basically trying to say he was not using his trust account properly. So as attorneys, we have to keep a client trust account or multiple client trust accounts if we are holding money on behalf of the client. We cannot have bank cards to those accounts to then charge on behalf of our client. Everything has to be tracked in and out of the account. If the client gives you $2,000 and you spend $5,000 or you spend $500 on something for the client, you have to have a bill to show that. You have to have a ledger to show that for the client. And then you have to have another ledger to show that the amount in the actual bank account is accurate for all of the clients if you have one with multiple clients in it. If you have a client with like a huge sum of money, then you may have to open a trust account for that particular client for that large amount of money. But basically, you have to do a lot of accounting. And you cannot just have a bank card swiping. You can't just be writing checks out of the IOTA account. You can't do any of that stuff. You have to be able to track everything that you're doing. And basically, what the plaintiff is alleging here is that Girardi Keese and Thomas Girardi were just taking that card and saying, here, transfer to my personal account, transfer to my personal account, transfer to my wife's personal account, send my wife on a private jet, all of the things, right? And he can't do that. The trust account, if he's paying his bill that the client has incurred fees from him, he charged 33%, 40%, whatever it is from going to litigation. He would transfer that. He's supposed to transfer that into the law firm's operating account. He cannot just take that and go buy $750,000 canary diamond rings or earrings for his wife. If he wanted that money, he needed to transfer it to the business account and then pay himself that amount. But he had to have proof that he actually earned that amount, which the plaintiffs are alleging that they didn't have proof that they earned the amount and that they're supposed to give their clients money before they pay themselves. Okay, let's see where we are at here. Okay, with respect to Erika, during the 7-year period prior to the petition date, Girardi Keese made approximately 6 payments to Erika in total aggregate amount of $97,200, consisting of, among other things, approximately 2 payments to Erika in the total aggregate amount of $15,000 during the 4-year period to the petition date. Why are you paying your wife $97,000? Is she your secretary? What's going on here? Okay. They have Exhibit A, which we're going to see the transfers for. With respect to the fraudulent transfers, Erika was neither an attorney. Oh, I just asked, is she your secretary? No. She was not an attorney, employee, agent, consultant. She could have been a consultant. They couldn't even make her a consultant. Or client entitled to monies of Girardi Keese, and the payments had no relation to the operation and did not benefit Girardi Keese. So, rightfully so, they are bringing this action for them allegedly stealing money from the client. Okay? So let's see, what do we have here in the chat? Oh, not that many new chats, so let's see. Toot says, was that case against Erika not moved to California? Not that I know of. She was dismissed from a case, but I did not review that case on my channel, but I'm pretty sure she was fully dismissed from it for failure to state a claim. Toots also says, yeah, it's raining. Elizabeth Carmichael says, it is so sick what Girardi Keys did to clients who were already victims. Yes, exactly. This is not an attorney for like family law or like business. Someone stole $1 million from you. This is an attorney for people who were recovering money for injured family members, or the person was actually injured and trying to recover money from, let's say, a loss of a leg. They deserve that $1 million that they were going to be paid out. But allegedly, what they're alleging is that Girardi Keys and Tom Girardi just kept that money for themselves. For people that lost people in the airplane crash, they didn't give their family members that money that they needed. And sometimes, based on some things that I read before, was that they will like nickel and dime them. They will say, oh, we can't give you the full settlement, even though the case is settled, but here's $10,000 so that you can do whatever you need to do. Oh, here's another $5,000. They weren't giving them the full $1 million settlements that they were entitled to. I'm sorry about that if that was loud. Okay. Tiny D says, what secretary makes $97,000? There are secretaries that make $97,000. You just have to be really good at a well-paid law firm. She was not a secretary. So she wouldn't be really good at a well-paid law firm because she is not a secretary. So she should not have been getting any $97,000. But it is possible for secretaries to make that much. You just have to be in the area. And a lot of times when they are making that much, they had been working for the law firm for a very long time, or they've just been growing with whatever partner they're being. Maybe I'm thinking of a paralegal. No, secretary too. They're growing with the partner who is making that money. So if the partner is making like $500K, he can have his assistant being paid $100K so that he doesn't have to go and hire a new one, or she doesn't have to go and hire a new one and then retrain them up to the standard that they like. And yeah, I'm in the middle of doing it. You do not want to have to retrain a secretary, because everything, it seems like it's easy because you know what you're doing. But then when you're like having to teach someone that's not super familiar with your processes, it could take a little bit of time. And so if you've had someone that's been with you for 15 years, yeah, you're going to pay them $100,000 because you don't want them to leave. You don't want to have to hire someone else at $50K and then they're doing the bare minimum when your other assistant used to order your dry cleaning for you before you even asked, right? So yeah, you can get paid quite a lot, just depending on how long you've been with a firm and how long you've been with maybe like the partner that you're being the secretary for. Okay. Plaintiff is informed, or where we at? Okay, so we're going into the causes of action. So the first claim for relief was the avoidance and recovery of fraudulent transfers. We are going to skip some of those paragraphs, and then we're going to jump into the substantive paragraph. Let's see what it says. And remember, guys, this is blind react, so I'm sorry if I'm reading stuff that you guys don't care about. Plaintiff is informed and believed, and based upon alleges that at all relevant times, the 7-year transfers were voidable under California Civil Code, all of those numbers, by one or more creditors who held and hold unsecured claims against Girardi Keys that were and are allowable against the estate under 11 USC 502, or that were or are not allowable under the statute. These creditors include, without limitations, those creditors who are listed in the Girardi Keys schedules as holding undisputed claims and who have filed proofs of claims against Girardi Keys. So basically, that money should have been going to the plaintiffs instead of going to Erika. So those transfers to her were voidable. So they're coming after her for $97,000. Plaintiff is informed and believed, and on that basis, alleges thereon. Based on the foregoing, plaintiff may avoid the 7-year transfer and recover the equivalent value of said fraudulent transfer for the benefit of the Girardi Keys estate. Give us that $97,000 back so we can try to pay some of these victims. Next cause of action that we're looking at is avoidance and recovery of fraudulent transfer between by these statutes here. Here we go. Forms and believes that the Girardi Keys made 4-year transfers without receiving a reasonably equivalent value in exchange for the transfer, and Girardi Keys either was engaged or was about to engage in business or a transaction for which the remaining assets of Girardi Keys were unreasonably small in relation to the business transaction, or intended to incur or believed or reasonably should have believed that it would not incur debts beyond the ability to pay became due. Basically, they were starting cases in which they knew or should have known that they would have had to rob Peter to pay Paul. They should not have taken on these cases because litigations are expensive. In the other case that we covered for Erika, they needed to borrow money in order to pay for the litigation, and then the borrowed money will be reimbursed to the person that lent the money, and then the remaining money will go to the fees paying to the attorney, and then also back to the client. But in this, what they're alleging is that they didn't even have enough money to even start the litigation processes, but they kept starting litigation process, robbing Peter to pay Paul. They knew they would have to rob Peter to pay Paul. Okay. Let's see where we are at here. Plaintiff is informed in belief and alleges that at all relevant times, the 4-year transfer were voidable under the California Civil Code by one or more creditors who held and hold unsecured claims against Girardi Keys. Pretty much the same thing. So let's see. Here we go. Third claim, recovery of avoided transfers or the value pursuant thereof. Let's see. Erika is the transferee, initial, immediate, or otherwise, of the fraudulent transfers and or the entity or person for who benefit the fraudulent transfers were made within the meaning of Section 550. Based thereon, plaintiff is entitled to recover the fraudulent transfers together with the interest at the applicable rate from the date of the fraudulent transfers. They were not supposed to be paying Erika. They should not have been paying Erika. You cannot just pay your wife directly from your freaking trust account or even your business account because she's not an employee. Okay, Elizabeth says, I need to be one of those secretaries. You got to work for them for a long time. And sometimes the salary is not even worth it for the amount of work that you have to do for that attorney. Some attorneys are bad bosses, okay? Attorney D says, I'm in the wrong line of work. You have to take a long time to build up to it, though. I promise you that. Marianne says, I've been with the same company for 25 years. I don't come close to what that secretary makes. Well, Erika Girardi was not even the secretary, and she's making it. But yeah, you have to be working for like a super big firm, and you have to be working for them. From my experience, from my knowledge of it, you have to be working for them for a very long time. In this area in Sacramento, which is not even like the best paid area, I see salaries starting at about 80 to 90,000 for paralegals or secretaries with I think it's like more than 10 years of experience, because they want somebody that can come in and like do it quickly. And they're willing to pay for those things. And that's not even like we're not even in one of the most expensive. No, I wouldn't say 10 years. Never mind. Because that's more attorney coming in at Sacramento. I would say probably 15 plus years for the paralegals. They do a lot of work. Secretaries and paralegals do a lot of work for the attorneys. Hello Swanky says, yep, 100,000 for a secretary in the entertainment industry isn't uncommon either, but they very much earn their salaries too. Yeah, they probably work worth more than the 100,000 for sure. Tiny D says, okay, I have to hop off. Have a good night, everyone. Nice. Thank you for joining us live today. All right. Tiny D also says, for the replay crew, make sure to hit the like button. Yes, of course. If you made it this far and you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button. Help us out in the algorithm. Help us out. We are almost through this one. I thought there was only 3 claims of relief, but we are now on the 5th one. So let's see what else we have going on in here. Okay, so this one basically says, to the extent that Erika files or has filed or otherwise asserts a claim against Girardi Keys as the term claim defined under the section, plaintiff requests that any such claim be disallowed for Erika's failure to return or repay the fraudulent transfer thereof. So if Erika alleges that the law firm or Tom Girardi owes her anything, either like in a way, like in his will or his trust, or if she's going to get any money of any kind, they want them to deny that for them. She does not deserve any money, is what the plaintiff is alleging here, which is probably accurate if she was getting money and she's not even an employee of the company. Okay. Reservation of rights. Plaintiff reserved the right to amend this complaint to include, among other things, further information regarding the fraudulent transfer, additional transfers, modifications and revisions to defendant's name, additional defendants, and additional claims for relief that may become known to plaintiff at any time during the adversary proceeding through formal discovery or otherwise, and for the amendment to relate back to this complaint. Plaintiff reserves the right to bring all other claims for relief that plaintiff may have against defendant on any and all grounds as allowed under the law or equity. Additionally, nothing contained in this complaint shall be construed as a waiver of plaintiff's right to object to any proof of the claim filed by defendant. Accordingly, plaintiff reserves the right to object on any and all grounds to any proof filed or claimed by the defendant. Okay, so they are asking for the appropriate remedies under these different statutes. Okay, so judgment that is avoidable under the statute, a judgment that plaintiff is entitled to recover from the fraudulent transfers, a judgment that plaintiff is entitled to preserve fraudulent transfer avoided under these statutes, a judgment and or order disallowing any claims for defendant may assert for her right to recover. That's just wild to me. Out of all the allegations, if they are true, like that would be so wild for her to say, hey, I know my husband has like $1 million, but I think it should go to me first and not the clients that were ripped off by him. That would be so out of pocket. Because she could still go and make her own money not related to the law firm, right? Which she should have been doing anyways. On all claims of release, they are requesting interest in the amount of loss. So it's $97,000, whatever interest the court will allow. And then the cost of the suit incurred herein, including without limitation attorney's fees, and for any relief that the court deems just and proper. Okay, let's check out. These are the transfers that went to Erika allegedly directly to her. You did a $50,000 transfer. Here we go. We have $5,000 and then $10,000. So we got $15,000 within the 4 years leading up to the filing. And then we have like this. Well, then it will be more than 97,000, right? Wait. Oh, did they add this to this? You know I can't do math. That's 80. Okay, yeah, they added those together. Okay, transfers, big transfers here. These are not little. These should have been going to his clients that were catastrophically injured. And so this is what they're asking back from her, which is not a lot compared to the amount of money that they owe. They're like in the millions. They're literally in the millions, and they're having to penny pitch and try to get this $97,000. And then they will probably get a little bit more money from whatever attorney's fees that she has to pay and all of the things. So yeah, that's 97,000 is not a lot, but they have to get it from wherever they can. Okay. We have AD saying, I went through voir dire yesterday at jury duty. Prosecutor really was asking lots of questions. They have to make sure you're right for the jury. Did you get selected? If you can share. Toot says she also allegedly got millions from the company Amex cards in the other suits. Yeah, that's what a lot of the allegations are. It's not just this $97,000. They are literally having to go and be like, okay, what law can I apply to this so that we can get some of this money back? this little $97,000 is going to be a drop in the bucket compared to what is owed. I can't remember of the how much exactly is owed, but I want to say it's over 100 million. Do not quote me on that. I have to go double back and check, but they owe a lot of money to a lot of people. So they're really trying to get any money that they can. And like I said, it's going to be a drop in the bucket of what is actually owed. Okay, sorry I don't have too much comment on this one. Not, like I said, not a super cool bankruptcy attorney, but maybe as more things come out, we can have Rob from Law and Lumber come over on the channel and help us figure out what some of this stuff means. But thank you guys for joining me live today. We are almost at the 2-hour mark. I did not know we would stream this long today, but that Kim Kardashian case was super long. So, and then this one was short, so we were able to get through. We probably should have started with this one, honestly, but it wasn't a lot of juicy facts in there. Not a lot of juicy facts in there. But I do think that if these transactions are true, which I would assume they are, that she should give them their $97,000 back. I don't know how much she makes on a daily basis or a monthly basis, but she needs to give the money back. But I understand her not wanting to be held liable or say that she took money from injured victims. Let's see. Tooth says, yeah, pretty sure over 100 million. I'm pretty sure it's over 100 million too. Cheryl Reed says they need to talk to the CFO. He got 22 million from Amex. Oh, where is that one at? Is that in one of the complaints? Oh, I don't know. Cheryl Reed says, oh, we already got that one. Chris Mullen, thank you again for the membership. Saying thanks so much, Bri. Thank you for joining and thank you for gifting the memberships. You guys can check it out in the chat on YouTube because StreamYard does not show my emojis, but that's okay. If you guys want cool emojis and little badges like that, make sure to join the membership. Remember, we are going to have the member stream at the end of the month or beginning of February. We'll get it scheduled out. We'll have it on a weekend so that mostly more people can come, hopefully, and then we'll have a good time, and maybe we'll invite some other law tubers, if that's what you want to call them, lawyers on YouTube, to see if they would like to join and hang out with our members on the channel. So don't forget to become a member if you are interested in coming live on the internet and talking to the BRI-HIVE with me. But yes, thank you guys so much. I will see you on Thursday. And we'll see what we'll be covering. See what we'll cover on Thursday. I think the fiance may join me on Thursday. So we should have a good topic for you guys. It may not be completely law related. It might be like family law related if you guys are interested in that, which I think some of you said you were. So I will see you on Thursday, and guys, have a good night and try not to be in the rain too much. I'll put my earplugs in and hopefully it doesn't wake me up tonight.